Hello everyone, I'm Sensei and welcome back to Pixel Galaxy. Last time we tried Normaler and it was pretty hard, if not ridiculous. So, I'm gonna play Normalist, which is the most ridiculous one of them, because it's, well, difficulty number 6. And I only have a score of 168, and that's because of the end at Normalist. Because if you want to beat Normalist, you have to fight against 3 bosses. And the first one is doable, the second one is nearly impossible, and I have not ever beaten the third one yet because it's nearly impossible to get past the second one. But if I'm gonna get there, then you will see eventually. I have wanted to beat Normalist mode in the past so bad that I tried this more than normaler difficulty. So I know kind of what to expect from this difficulty. And one fun thing I always think about this game is that I don't know where I saw it, but I think on the website of the developers. But it said that every boss has a weakness in terms of what it can do and it cannot do. So you can use that to maybe defeat him. Although it doesn't say explicitly what the weakness is. But as far as I've encountered in the past, the first boss of Normalist is, well, pretty easy. The only thing you have to do is avoid everything. The second boss, I have no idea what the weakness is, because as far as I know, it's not possible. And why? You will see eventually, because it's just insane. But I have to get there in order for you to understand it. So when I get there, you will see, find out, and, well, you can draw your own conclusions from there. We are almost at the boss stage. Yes. The creation. The only thing I have to do is avoid everything here. Okay, now I'm absolutely huge, and now comes the problem. Boss number 2, the Destruction. There are so many bullets, it's just ridiculous. And I'm also shooting now a lot of bullets against him because I'm getting pixels from the back. They're shooting against him. But the problem is, there's no legitimate way in order to avoid all those bullets. And if you can't even do that, sometimes it will just lag out the game and make it impossible to play. I have no idea if I'm gonna get any farther in that boss. I don't think so, because I've tried it like hundreds of times in the past and have not succeeded in any way. The only way I got past him is by the game glitching itself. And it happens at random. It's not something I can reproduce or something, it's just, well, be lucky. Let it glitch out and somehow it will destroy itself. And I have no real answer to why this is happening, it just happens sometimes. It's also the only way how I've ever beaten him and came to the third boss. And I really want to get, well, I really want to beat the third boss, because it's the last one of the game. Although the problem is you can never get there, because the destruction is practically unbeatable. I have no idea how you should be able to beat. That's just a situation where you cannot get out of if you're not fast enough at the start, so I might as well just give up. There's no way you can survive a Spiral Pixel that shoots infinite bullets. Oh. Oops. I really want those 2 pixels because they are really useful. They shoot 4 pixels in a kind of pattern around. It's really good. Okay, I did not see that coming. Oh no. Not you. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna survive this, because he's now out there. You can't avoid this, and there's no real proper way of making sure you get through this, because the space between the bullets is so small, it's so ridiculous. If he comes out and you don't have anything to shoot it down with, you can just give up, in my opinion. It's just too much. A lot of the normal difficulty that you get in there is too much. I also don't know where I read it, but some person, when I looked up how other players were dealing with, well, this, he also said that the game itself, of what it gives you, and what it can do, is really good. Except how the way it's now presented. As in how difficult this is and what it could have been. It's like, it's not what it should have been. There should have been a few things different. He didn't say anything specific, but I feel like, yeah, it's true. The game is good, but like the whole thing with the destruction boss, it's just ridiculous. And they have changed the game, because it was at the beginning of the game, it was different. I have not played that version, I only played the version that, well, was released as it should and on Steam. I don't know if the first version was on Steam and they've changed it later, but you can see it in the video trailer of that. You can clearly see that there's a difference between the first version and the current version. And I'm like, I don't know how the first version was, but I do know that the second version, which is this version, is good, but it could have been way better. Because there are achievements for every boss in this game. To say that if you have beaten him, and in what way, if you've also beaten him in a boss version. And somehow people have gotten that achievement, although I don't see any way possible that that's legit. I just cannot believe that someone has actually beaten this based on the chaotic impossibility you get when playing it. And yes, if you're playing with a controller, you can more fine-tune your movements in all directions. Because I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard, and you're just using arrow keys to move yourself around, which is, well, limited to 8 directions. But still, even if you play on controller, you need to move so precisely that, well, it's just too much. And if it is possible to beat it on the controller, then in my opinion it should have been different on the keyboard, because, well, I've only gone now once towards the destruction, and you've seen how many bullets came on me. How the hell would you avoid that? I just don't see it as feasible. Wow. I have no idea how to avoid that. Now, this was a small circle. I could have just let him shoot, maybe. I was like, oh no, not this guy again. I know what to kind of expect from this no difficulty, because I played it a lot, but it keeps being difficult because you need some certain pixels in order to survive properly. Although the problem is, all the pixels that you actually need are so difficult to get that it just, well, how do you deal with this? If someone has ever beaten the destruction legitimately in a way that's feasible, and also beaten the galaxy, then I really would have liked to see that. Because I don't see it as possible, especially since it's 3 bosses in a row. You can't just go to the galaxy directly, because you need to beat the destruction, and before you get to the destruction you need to beat Normalus and the creation. And getting to that point itself is already absolutely ridiculous. Because if you want to try to beat a boss, then you want to try it over and over and over again. And this is just not possible. I really would have liked to stay positive about it, but since it just is as it is, I cannot really do much else or say anything else about it. I somehow kinda have to deal with it and then accept fate. And this game just ain't what it could have been. What a shame. Oh no. Those things are so insanely fast. And I somehow survived that. Oh wait, I remember. I have beaten the destruction once, legitimately. And that's only because I grabbed one of those pictures that shoot those circle things that just pass by. That thing is so insanely strong, you can beat the destruction in a second. Although, that thing is nearly impossible to grab. That's kind of also the whole problem, maybe, with this boss. You don't get this stuff. that you actually need in order to beat it. Because the pixels that you get in the destruction, they're pretty good. They shoot all kinds of bullets. Problem is, the destruction itself shoots so many bullets you can't avoid it. This is being annoying. I shoot a decent amount of bullets now. Pretty good. Oh no. Please dissolve. No, they don't. Damn it. I could have gotten a really good setup of pixels to destroy the bosses, but nope. I did not see a way to get out of there. Kinda. Try again. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, great. Yeah. Just too tight. Oh no. Wow. Okay, again. Okay, I didn't even see that bullet coming. Wow. The mess that happens, that's just no. I don't know. Need to grab you. Oh no. And I've got... Never mind, I'm dead. I want to say I got nothing. Yeah, legitimately. Got nothing, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead again. This is not gonna work. I can't believe how I got to the destruction straight from the get-go on the first try. I have gotten even there close. The only thing I've done so far is dying. Over and over and over and over and over again. Holy crap. How did I get so lucky and got to straight towards the destruction? Which was the whole point of this video, practically. And I never come close even to him once again. Ah, no, not this again. Oh, somehow I survived that. Okay. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay, I've only come to the destruction once, which I found very... well, lucky, I would say, because how many tries did I do that? 20? I didn't count, but a lot of times. I just don't see how it's possible to beat those 3 bosses in a row properly without like dying over and over and over again. Because Normalist difficulty itself is very difficult. And from all the times I've tried to beat it, I've gotten only 3 times towards the last boss, which is named Galaxy. One time I've beaten the Destruction legitimately with a circle shooting pixel. It just annihilated him in seconds. And the other 2 times, I think it was 2 times, it just glitched out and destroyed him itself in like the first second without even getting hit by a pixel. And I can prove that, kind of, because I've had the same situation in the Colosseum. Because in the Colosseum you can choose which boss you want to fight. And for example, I have all the bosses in the Colosseum, except for the last one, because you only get him in the Colosseum if you have beaten him at least once. Well, this proves that I've beaten him at least once. And I've also tried to beat him in the record time, which is kind of the goal in the Colosseum. And as you can see in the Destruction, I've beaten him in 2.28 seconds. If you've paid attention to the game when I met the Destruction, he doesn't even start shooting, or you don't even start shooting with your pixels that you get before that time. So somehow the Destruction killed itself at the start. I don't know, I didn't do anything. He wasn't even on the screen, and I somehow beaten him. I don't know why, and I really would have liked to just play against the Colosseum, no, against the Galaxy in the Colosseum, but I can't, because I have not beaten him, and I really want to know how does it end. But I cannot do that, because I cannot get past him in Normalist. It's just too ridiculous. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna play the Destruction here, and then look at the counter. And when it reaches 228, I've beaten him. Well, he's not even on the screen there, I think. Not really sure, but yeah, 228 now. He's not even on the screen, and I somehow destroyed him there. That's my best time of him in trying to beat him on the Colosseum. And yeah, doing it on the Colosseum, you only have to beat him. You don't have to beat the Destruction. The Creation, I mean. But how would you do this? It's just not feasible, in my opinion. I don't know how the past version was of the Destruction, but I just don't see it. What is his weakness? As far as I know, he doesn't have a weakness, because he shoots so many bullets you cannot get past him. And it's also not that his weapons are easily destroyable, because they're right beside the core pixel, which you need to destroy. So how would you defend against them? And the pixels that I'm now getting are the pixels that shoot all the bullets, and they get, well, destroyed practically from the get-go. Because there are so many pixels here, I can barely avoid it. It's just too much. You can't do this. I don't know why they do this. I don't know how it's even feasible to do this, because, well, you see it on the screen, there are bullets everywhere. And yeah, that's kind of how the game ended at some point for me. Oh, and somehow some part of him destroyed. Although, I don't know why. Or how. But, well. Anyway, the only thing that remains is... Well, I could do the boss rush. Could be fun. But what you do in the boss rush is just you beat the first boss, then continue to the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one, and so on until you've beaten them all. And then you get a score. Well, my score apparently is boss number 14. I don't know which boss is number 14. Which one is number 14? 3, 7, 11, the arcade. I've somehow in the past got all the way to the arcade and have not beaten him because, So in doing that, I have beaten the Pixel, Radiance, Baron, Cherries, Mimic, Michael, Sonar, Rainbow, Blade, Coward, Storm, Nova, and the Disease. And yeah. The arcade, a new generation multi-stage space challenge. Yeah, and what does it? The creation. In the beginning, the Pixels created the galaxy. And the destruction in the end, the galaxy destroyed the Pixels. Yeah. Well, it destroys you because you cannot get past him. I have no idea what it says on the galaxy because I have no access to him. I think I'm gonna play all the bosses once in the next video. And after that, there's not much more to do because I cannot get to the galaxy. So if I could, then I would do that, but it's just not possible as I see it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.